Well, good morning, everyone. So welcome to the annual general meeting of the Association of New Brunswick Licensed Practical Nurses. My name is Susan Duff, and I'm the Director of Registration and Policy here, and I will be co-hosting today's meeting along with the Board President, Jean-Philippe Laugier, and Executive Director, Joanne Graham. Today's meeting is being recorded and will be shared to our website for those people who are working and coming off of nights and sleeping and unable to attend. Our 2022 annual report is currently posted on our website. It is under your members tab under the communications section. So you'll be able to follow along there or review that at a later time if you wish. At this point, I would like to, ANBLPN acknowledges that our office is located on the traditional territory of the Wolastoqiyik, and that ANBLPN interactions take place on unsurrendered and unceded lands of the Wolastoqiyik or Maliseet, the Micmac, and the Pescamawati or Passamaquoddy, as outlined in the treaties of peace and friendship. On your screens, you will see today's agenda. I will note that our president's report will be in French and translated to English, and the remainder of our meeting will be in English and translated to French. So you may submit any of your questions in the Q&A box at the bottom, and we will address the questions that are applicable to the annual report at the end of the presentation. Questions will be visible to the speakers only and not to the attendees. You also have the option to send your questions anonymously. So please add your email to your question in the event that we run out of time so that we can follow up with you directly. We don't want your questions to go unanswered. And we do ask that you please keep your comments and questions professional, and questions must be about the ANBLPN annual report. So at this point, I'm going to actually, we are going to hear from our current Board of Directors, President Jean-Philippe Laugier. Due to schedules that we all have that are taxing, Jean-Philippe was unable to be with us in person today, so we have pre-recorded his message. So it is now my pleasure to introduce you to him, to his pre-recorded message, and we'll begin the annual general meeting. Jean-Philippe, just as a note, has been an LPN for 15 years and is in his first term as ANBLPN's president. He currently works with the extramural program. So please welcome our board president, Jean-Philippe Laugier.
Assemblée, et j'aimerais souhaiter la bienvenue à chacun d'entre vous. Nous sommes l'Association des infirmières et infirmiers auxiliaires autorisés du Nouveau-Brunswick, et notre seul mandat est de veiller à ce que toutes les infirmières et infirmiers auxiliaires autorisés du Nouveau-Brunswick aient la formation et les compétences nécessaires pour fournir des soins sécuritaires, compétents, éthiques et compatissants au nom de la protection du public. À ce titre, nous inscrivons les infirmières et infirmiers auxiliaires et leur délivrons des autorisations d'exercer. Nous fixons les normes de pratique infirmière. Nous approuvons et accréditons les programmes de formation en soins infirmiers et nous intervenons pour préserver une pratique sûre, compétente, éthique et compatissante. Notre vision est que les infirmières auxiliaires font partie intégrante des soins de santé collaboratifs et qu'elles soient respectées pour leurs compétences, leur expertise, leur compassion et leurs normes éthiques. Notre mission est de garantir au public un engagement en faveur de soins sûrs, compétents, empreints de compassion et éthiques en réglementant et en renforçant la formation d'infirmiers auxiliaires. Nos valeurs sont les suivantes. Le respect en créant et en entretenant une culture de l'équité, de l'inclusion et de la diversité. L'intégrité, c'est d'être honnête, juste, cohérent, fiable et objectif dans nos actions. Et la collaboration, c'est d'engager les IAA et les autres parties prenantes dans un esprit de coopération afin d'établir et de maintenir des relations professionnelles et publiques solides. La qualité est de promouvoir l'excellence dans la réglementation professionnelle des soins infirmiers et le professionnalisme par l'établissement et le maintien de relations thérapeutiques entre les infirmières et les clients, l'apprentissage continu, l'éthique, la responsabilité envers le public, les clients, la profession, les collègues et nous-mêmes. Le procès-verbal de la réunion de 2022 a été examiné et approuvé par Jean-Philippe Lausier avec l'appui de Marshall Wilson, comme étant une description claire de la réunion. J'aimerais maintenant vous présenter les membres du conseil d'administration de l'AIAANB de 2022. Je commencerai avec les membres de l'exécutif, soit moi-même, Jean-Philippe Lausier, président du conseil d'administration, Colleen McLaughlin, vice-présidente, Laurie Kinley, secrétaire, et Margot Lausier, trésorière. Nos conseillers et conseillères générales pour 2022 sont Natacha Landry pour la région 1, Jennifer Bickford pour la région 2, Dawn Polchis pour la région 3, Marshall Wilson pour la région 4, Isabelle Basque pour la région 5 et Gérard Boisvert pour la région 6. Et nos membres du public pour 2022 sont Barb Fletcher et Louisa Montoya. De plus, le registraire du conseil d'administration est notre directrice générale, Joanne Graham. Notre conseiller juridique est Dan Légère et les finances de l'AIAANB sont confiées à Shannon et Buffett, comptables professionnels et agréés. Conformément à la législation et la loi sur les IAA, les affaires de l'association sont gérées par le conseil d'administration. Le but de l'Assemblée générale annuelle est de présenter le rapport annuel et de répondre aux questions à ce sujet. L'obligation fiduciaire de réglementer la profession d'infirmier auxiliaire s'accompagne de nombreuses responsabilités et d'obligations de rendre compte, et tout cela est fait pour assurer la protection du public. L'autorité réglementaire de l'AIAANB est chargée de superviser la réglementation des candidats, des membres actifs et des membres non pratiquants. De plus, l'AIAANB cherche à établir des politiques pour assurer l'amélioration et la croissance professionnelle des infirmiers et des infirmières auxiliaires autorisés, promouvoir la collaboration au sein de l'équipe de soins de santé et assurer au public que des normes adéquates de soins infirmiers sont fournis par ses membres. Les soins de santé au Nouveau-Brunswick ont été mis à l'épreuve par le vieillissement de la clientèle, la pandémie de COVID-19 et le recrutement et le maintien en poste des professionnels de la santé. Afin d'assurer la croissance en termes de sécurité publique, d'adhésion et de protection du public, l'AIAANB doit également continuer à croître en tant qu'organisme de réglementation. Pour réaliser cette croissance, notre plan stratégique s'articulera autour de 4 priorités principales. Numéro 1, c'est d'accroître la force et la présence de l'autorité de régulation. 2 est de favoriser un environnement de gestion des risques. 3 est de veiller à ce que l'AIAANB soit prête à augmenter le nombre de ses membres. Et 4, de clarifier en permanence notre mandat pour les membres, les parties prenantes et le public. De plus amples détails concernant le plan stratégique de l'AIAANB sont disponibles dans le rapport annuel de 2022, qui se trouve sur notre site web, et nous allons également partager le nouveau plan stratégique avec nos membres cet automne. Je vais maintenant demander à Joanne Graham, registraire et directrice générale de l'AIAANB, de présenter le rapport de la directrice générale pour 2022.
At this time, I would like to ask for a motion to approve the president's report. Could you kindly just put your name, if someone would be so kind to motion to approve the president's report in the chat function? Okay, Joyce Tucker has raised her hand. And can we have a seconder, please? Marcia Wilson, a second. Thank you. All right, so we will move. I will now introduce you to Joanne Graham, as you know, our Executive Director and Registrar, for her Executive Director report. Go ahead, Joanne.
Good morning, everyone. First, I would like to say Happy Nurses Week. Thanks for all you do on a daily basis, knowing there are daily challenges that you face, but yet you all continue to be the driving forces to make a difference while caring for New Brunswickers. I would also like to take this time to thank our ANBLPN Board of Directors, our ANBLPN staff, and our various committee members as well for their dedicated service. So I'm going to just stop my video because I'm going to have to squint my eyes to do a little reading here. Okay. So Diana, could we please share the highlights? So as Jean-Philippe has stated, our report is on our website. However, today I'm just going to report on the highlights. And so in our report, you will see that we do have many affiliations, and we have our interprofessional collaborations as well. These are certain stakeholders that we meet with on a regular basis, and we certainly collaborate with them on many issues, and we believe in collaboration and moving our profession forward. So for our highlights and achievements for 2022, we certainly did board review and approval of fee increase for 2023-2024 membership dues. We also had an increase in pre-authorized debit subscriptions for membership dues. We welcome new board members, regulatory governance education to support regulatory excellence. We also did some committee training. Governance and HR resource policies review continues. Online proctoring for CPNRE continued, and COVID-19 rapid response continues to provide temporary licenses for those that are coming from other provinces that came and helped in New Brunswick while we were in our outbreaks. Increase of capacity of students in PM programs. We had an increase in seats at several locations. New and updated resources. We had several videos that were updated. We had LPN Day 2022, how to do a password reset because we were receiving several calls. Renewal at a glance, again, a nice little video to show you how to do renewal and how to renew your LPN license for October 2022. So webinars, we did working with nursing students, proud, prepared, and protected, drug-free workplaces, recognizing the signs and symptoms. We had a webinar with Big Daddy Taz at our AGM last year, as well with Neville McKay. We did a scope optimization collaboration with Horizon Health Network in May of 2022. Also leadership, professionalism, and evolution of practical nursing in May of 2022, and policies and procedures for independent practice. We did hold our annual general meeting as well last May. Documentation, is it really necessary in the fall, and a talk about harm reduction as well last fall, and wound care. Many practice documents were new and revised, such as Am I Practicing Nursing, FAQ documentation, protected titles, self-regulation, telenursing, medication administration, documentation. And as you can see, there are several documents there that have been new and revised. They are on our website, certainly under practice resources. So please check the website. In regards to education, free educational modules are available on the ANBLPN website. We had an increased delivery of pathways to licensure program for internationally educated nurses. And we also had another LPN rehab program that was started last fall. Presentations, there are many presentations that were given in 2022 in regards to professionalism and presence in nursing, evolution of practical nursing. Also, presentation for the new nurse mentor coordinators for Horizon Health. And we also were invited by the Chief Nursing Officer of Horizon to present on hidden curriculum and presentation to NBCC first-year students. And we also meet with students on a regular basis, especially when they're graduating. So we do that on a yearly basis. And we speak about the Canadian Practical Nurse Registration Exam with them. Just a few little statistics to share with you. We have 3,611 active licenses, and we have 419 non-practicing licenses for 2022. 2022 student statistics. You'll see that new students with CCNB, we had 75. We had 42 graduates from CCNB, as well as you can see the CPNRE exam. We'll see that we have several years there, 2019 to 2022. And so you can see what our numbers are there as well. NBCC, we did have 111 new students. There were seats that were increased there. We had 133 graduates. And with Olton College, we have 73 new students and 63 graduates from Olton College in 2022. Verifications of registrations. So members requesting to transfer out of the province. You can see that they were transferring to other provinces. So in a total, we had 164 LPNs that left the province during 2022. And we also had 116 applications requesting to transfer into New Brunswick. And when we speak about conduct, the nature of complaints that we received in 2022, there was 1 theft, 2 professional boundaries, 2 fitness to practice, 2 medication administrations, 2 working without a license, and an unacceptable provision of care, 1, and sexual misconduct, 1. So a total of 11 complaints received for 2022. We do meet with the complaints committee, our legal advisor and myself, and if they deem it necessary, then they will forward the complaint to the discipline committee. However, we always try to find a way to find resolutions to work with the LPN and with the employer. We try to support the individuals the best that we can, and hoping that we do not want to take the livelihood away from anyone unless it's very necessary. It has to be a very serious complaint in order for suspension or revocation to happen. However, we try to work with the individuals and make sure that if there's educational resources that they need or more support, we certainly work all together in collaboration to hopefully help these individuals. And please remember that we always have ongoing communication with the association. Please review our website. We do use the social media platforms. We have our Facebook page. We also send out by email our Blue Band newsletter. And please feel free to contact us either by phone, direct email. We always like to see an ongoing communication with our members.
Okay, Joanne, thank you for that. May I ask again, either by raising of hands or you can put it in the chat or the Q&A, a nomination to accept the executive director's update? Natasha Landre has motioned to approve, and I have a seconder, please. We have one person to second the approval of the executive director's report, please. Don Polchis, thank you so much. At this point, I would like to turn our meeting over to Sean Williams. Sean is a CPA, CA for ANBLPN, and he is going to review with you our financial annual audited report. We are only going to display the financial numbers pages. For the full report, you will go to our website under your members tab in the communication section to find the full audited report. So Sean, I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you, Susan. I'll go through this report at a fairly high level. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out after the meeting. Starting on the statement of financial positions, this is everything we own and everything we owe. At the top, cash and cash equivalents, just under 3 million this year at the end of 2022. That is comprised of our checkings and savings accounts. Down a little further into our investments, 1.5 million, that is the GICs and other investments we have. Down into the liabilities section, the only notable item there is the deferred revenue. That is all the member fees that we receive before December 2022 for the 2023 memberships. And those are the large items there for the statement of financial position. So I'll move on to the statement of operations. For 2022, we had a total revenue of 1.3 million, comparable to 1.4 million last year, so very comparable there. Total expenses for 2022 were just over $1 million compared to 849,000 last year. The biggest increase in expenses in 2022 was the examination expenses. Overall, the revenue over expenses or net income for 2022 were 352,000 compared to 563,000 last year. So that is everything for me. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Again, I would like to ask for a motion to accept the report on our financial statement. If I could have someone to motion and a seconder, please. All right, we have Natasha Landry and Don Polchis, it appears. Thank you. All right, at this time, I'm going to turn it back to Joanne Graham. She's going to speak to us about our outgoing and incoming new board of directors. Joanne?
Thank you, Susan. I'd like to say a special thank you to these two wonderful ladies. We have Colleen McLaughlin, who has been a member of our board for some time. She was once a region member for the Moncton area, and she certainly became our vice president. She has shown much devotion to our board and is a exemplary example of an excellent LPN. And thank you for your service, Colleen. And we also have Margot Lozier, who was a regional member at one time for the Miramichi area, and she served as treasurer. She's a very devoted LPN and has served, she's been very dedicated to our board as well. Both these ladies were very well spoken on our board. They were drivers to move our profession forward, believed in optimization of our scope of practice. So ladies, on behalf of the ANBLPN board, our staff, and myself, we'd like to say a very special thank you for your dedicated service. And we are welcoming new board members by acclamation. We have Kim Steeves, who will serve as vice president. Kim has been a past president and a regional member as well. We have Gerard Boisvert, treasurer. Gerard is, he served as a regional member for the Miramichi area on our board. And we have Isabelle Bass for Region 5, which is the Praquety Peninsula area. And we have April Goodfellow, who will be serving for Region 6 in the Miramichi area. So welcome, everyone.
All right. At this time, we are moving on to our Q&A section. If anyone has any questions, so far we haven't had anything other than our motions. And in the absence of Jean-Philippe at the moment, I would then like to ask for someone to motion to adjourn the annual general meeting of the Association of New Brunswick Licensed Practical Nurses for 2023. Might I have a motion, please? So I have Glenda Levine and Rachel Farua. Rachel, I hope I've pronounced your name. Thank you all to the attendees for taking the time to join us. Thank you to our panelists, and as well, thank you, Jim Couture, our interpreter, for helping make this another successful AGM. Thank you and have a great day.